the oldest surviving deck of 52 playing cards, made in the Netherlands, circa 1475 AD. Currently housed at the Metropolitan Museum of Art, New York. In 1912, a striking photograph captures the everyday life of East London street urchins, offering a poignant glimpse into the harsh realities faced by many children in the early 20th century. The image, lacking specific credits or detailed information, showcases a group of young children who likely navigated the streets of East London as part of their daily struggle for survival. Street urchins. 135, Joralemon Street, Brooklyn Heights, New York, 1936. In 1937, West Ham, a district in East London, was known for its significant working-class population and the economic hardships many faced during the Great Depression. A photograph of a mother and her children in a poverty-stricken bedroom in West Ham from this era provides a poignant glimpse into the daily struggles of working-class families. Celebrating Marjorie Lee Brown, a mathematical mind ahead of her time. Marjorie Lee Brown was a pioneering mathematician and educator who was one of the first African American women to receive a Ph.D. in mathematics. Brown spent her career advocating for STEM education, particularly for women and minorities, and was instrumental in establishing one of the first computer centers at a historically black university at North Carolina College, now North Carolina Central University. The Japanese bad boys in the 1980s did their hair like greasers of the American 1950s. Bell County, Kentucky, 1941. Photograph of Hazel Petrie cooking breakfast in her kitchen the morning of her wedding to Gilbert Dove. She makes gravy in a skillet on her Supreme Enterprise stove, and there is a pan of biscuits to her right. Georgia O'Keeffe, 1887 to 1986, is considered one of the most prominent artists in modern art history. She was born on November 15, 1887, in Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, USA. She is known for her artwork that combines abstraction with naturalistic elements. Around 907, a glass plate negative from the Frank Fry collection captures a nostalgia moment featuring brothers Frank Emmett Fry Jr. and Harold Eugene Fry, seated in front of a large wooden barrel. This image is part of a broader series documenting life in North Carolina during the early 20th century. Not an Ohio-based restaurant chain, but they did have restaurants in Ohio. "125 years ago, Friday, October 22, 1897, famous Italian-American chef Ettore Boiardi, 1897 to 1985, better known by the anglicized version of his name, Hector Boiardi, who was famous for his namesake brand of food products, Chef Boiardi, was born at the city of Piacenza, Italy. This photo turns 78 years old today, so those still alive would be in their 80s. Poor Mother and Children, Finland, 1917. Selena in a Coke ad, 1994. Marlon Brando did not memorize the majority of his lines for his role in the 1972 film, The Godfather. Actor Robert Duvall is wearing a large cue card placard for Brando. Pablo Picasso painted this when he was 15 years old. She got married at the age of 14, and at the age of 20, she became a single mother. The first female millionaire who made a fortune with her 10 fingers. She entered the Guinness Book of Records as the first woman to become a millionaire independently, without inherited money. Sarah Breedlove was born in 1867 in the south of the USA, in the state of Louisiana. Her parents, older brothers, and sister were slaves in the cotton fields. But Sarah was born free. Cowboys in the Sky, dubbed by a reporter during the construction boom in New York City. 1920 to 1930, construction workmen cling to chains as they dangle in midair off the side of a skyscraper. Here is a little glimpse into Dayton, Nevada's storied past, featuring the historic Union Hotel. Built in 1870 after a fire claimed the original across the street, this iconic building has seen it all. From its beginnings as a hotel and saloon run by John and Caroline Gruber to its connections with the Overland Stage Station and Pony Express, the Union Hotel holds a special place in local history. Piles of shells in front of George M. Still and N.P. Houseman oyster houses under the Manhattan Bridge, New York, 1936. Ladies having stockings painted on instead of buying them during wartime, 1941. Two men cooking on a chimney stove after the Great Seattle Fire of 1889. Lieutenant Colonel Robert Sturm is greeted by his family, returning home after more than 5 years as a prisoner of war in North Vietnam. Burst of Joy is a Pulitzer Prize-winning photograph by Associated Press photographer Slava Salavetter, taken on March 17, 1973 at Travis Air Force Base in California. Barbara in an episode of Rawhide. Incident at Confidence Creek, starring Dick York and Clint Eastwood, 1963. Priscilla Presley, born Priscilla N. Wagner on May 24, 1945, in Brooklyn, New York, is widely known for her relationship with Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll, and for being an enduring figure in the cultural and historical legacy of Elvis Presley's life. While she is recognized primarily as Elvis's wife, Priscilla's life and legacy extend far beyond her relationship with the iconic musician. Her story is one that intertwines love, fame, struggle, and personal growth, culminating in a life that continues to captivate Elvis Presley fans and the public alike. Frank Lloyd Wright, standing in front of his iconic Roby House, embodies the spirit of his prairie-style architecture. The Roby House's sweeping horizontal lines and open spaces merge with the landscape, reflecting Wright's revolutionary approach to residential design. This powerful image captures the essence of one of Wright's greatest achievements. The lost Viking tool chest. In 1936, a wooden chest that once had belonged to a Viking craftsman was found at the bottom of the former Lake Mastermer on the island of Gotland, in Sweden, which now had turned into a bog. Mama Told Me Not to Come, by Three Dog Night, released in 1970, is a song that captures the band's ability to transform lesser-known tracks into major hits. Originally written by Randy Newman, the song was given a lively and somewhat humorous interpretation by Three Dog Night, becoming one of their most famous tracks and reaching the top of the Billboard charts. In 1955, radio station Winds in New York City adopted a new policy of not playing white cover versions of black R&B songs. For example, the station's disc jockeys had to play Fats Domino's Ain't It a Shame, rather than the white cover version by Pat Boone. In the photo, DJ Alan Freed on Winds, 1955. Warner Brothers Cowboys. Far left, Will Hutchins, Sugarfoot, Peter Brown, Lawman, Jack Kelly, Maverick, Ty Hardin, Bronco, James Garner, Maverick, Wade Preston, Colt 45, and John Russell, Lawman. There is something so pure about this photo from the first day of the 1954 World Series at Polo Grounds. It's just a beautiful sunny day, baseball, a beer, and a dog, simple things that have been lost over time. The NFL was merely an off-season deal, nowhere near the monster it has become. Afternoon games were Julie Newmar going up the down staircase. Hank Williams, the Drifting Cowboys, and Minnie Pearl, icons who shaped the heart and soul of country music.